Yes, welcome back, and this is Code with SGM, and in today's video I'll be sharing with you guys about how you will be able to integrate Google Gemini AI into your Laravel application. So in today's video I'll show you how you can utilize the Gemini AI APIs and how you can be able to interact with them by integrating the Google AI into your Laravel application. So this is much important when you want to utilize the AI functionality in your Laravel application. So for example, you want your users maybe to generate some of the data automatically by using AI, or by using the help of AI. So it will be easier for your users to reduce the workflow of their system, and some of the tasks will be simplified. So that's why in this video I'll show you how to have that functionality in your Laravel application. So I'll use Filament PHP. So if you are new to Filament PHP, please go direct to this link, which I'll share with you in the video description, and then you can start to have a look on it. And actually I have a video that shows the introduction to Filament PHP, so you can visit that video, and I'll share the link in this video description. So this is the documentation for Filament PHP and how you are going to install it in your Laravel application. So first of all, before we go deeper on the Google Gemini AI integration, so first of all let's set up a development. So first of all, I'll go into Laravel HUD, which is our local development environment. Then I'll add a new site. Then I'll say new. Then I'll add with no any starter kit, because I'll be using Filament PHP. So let's say next. And then here I'll say Gemini AI integration. And then I'll say next. So this will start to create my project. So let's give it a time, and then when it will be done, we will continue with our development. Right, so now you can see our application was created successfully. So now let's open it in the browser. So this is how it looks like. And now let's open this on VS Code. So this will open up our application in a VS Code, which is our IDE. Okay. Okay, so the next step will be to install Filament PHP into our Laravel application. So now let me open the terminal, and then I'll go back to my browser. And here on the documentation on the installation part, I'm going to install this because I'm using version 3. So let me just copy this command, and then let's go to the VS Code, and then I'll paste those commands, and then I'll click enter. So this will require the filament, and then this command will install filament on our application. Okay, seems like my network is not that good, so let's give it a time. Alright, so now as you can see, this one is already installed. So now we'll be asked what will be the ID of the filament admin panel. So I'll just give it, I'll just leave it to be admin, and then here I'll just say no. Okay, so now this is done, and I want to create a simple user. So you can just create the simple user by using this command right here, but also I can just run php at some db seed. So I just want to seed a simple user into my database. Okay, and that is coming from this header here. So you can see here we have this header. So I'll just log in by using this email. So what I'll do, let me go to my application, and then I'll go to the /admin to access the Filament panel. Okay, so now you can see this is my admin login page because I've accessed the admin panel. So this is how it looks like. So I'll try to log in with my details, and then you can see okay, so you can see I've been redirected to this admin panel, and this is my dashboard. As you can see here, you have the name of the logged in user. You can see the name. You can change this theme, so you can see you can change it to light, dark, or you can leave it to the system. You can sign out and everything works fine. So in order for me to demonstrate to you, first of all, I want to create a simple model in my application, and I'll create a resource for that. So what I'll do, let me close this one, and then I'll just say clear my terminal. Then let me zoom a little bit so you can see. So I'll say PHP make model, then I'll give it like a post. So I'll try to demonstrate it to you as if someone is creating a blog application. So now you will have the model for post here, and then from this model we can add the property here, which is our attribute actually, fillable. Then I'll give it an array, so I'll have the title, and then I'll have the content. So this one, have those two. Okay, and now I'll have something like that because I just want to show you in a simple and quick way. And then now let's go to the table, which is our migration, and now let's add those two fields, the title and the content. Okay, so now after adding those two columns, now let's migrate our table so that it will be created in our database. So migrate, and you can see that table by using the adminer here. So you can click that, and this will direct you to this page. And then if you open it, you can see this is our users table, and this is our post table with the title and the content. Okay, so now I want to generate a Filament PHP resource. So I'll just say PHP make, then Filament resource, then I'll mention the name of my model, which is post, and then I'll give it the flag to generate that resource automatically. So when you are saying generate, means it will check the field that are available to that specific model, and then it will generate the field for that form and the columns for this table for that model. So I'll just show you that here. So you can see we have this new directory called the filament. Inside we have resources. So let me squeeze it. So you have resources, and inside the resources you have two, one of the directory, and this one is just a file. So this file will be the actual resource. Okay, so this is the resource. You can see it has the form, which is this one, which is a public function, and we have the public function for the table. So these two will act as a form, and this one will act as a table. This helps you to do all the CRUD operations with the help of this form. So now if we go back to application and try to refresh, now you can see we have this new resource, which will be here as a link, on your sidebar. So we can visit that page of post, Okay, and then from here you can see we have this page, and then we have the new post which will load the form. So you can see here we have the title and we have the content. So I just want to change this one to be a rich editor. So from here you can go to the forms, and then you can go to the fields, and then we have this rich editor. So you can just add this one. So I'll just copy that, and I'll come here and change this one. So instead of having this one, we'll change it to be rich editor. And now if you go back here and refresh again, now you can see this is our rich text editor. So you can see how it looks like. You can try to write any content. You can make the content to be bold. As you can see, you can make them to be Italian. You can give underlines, you can stroke it, and everything that you may want to do. So now on this field, we want to add a suffix action here. So from Filament PHP, you can see from actions here, you can find the suffix actions like this one. So I just want to add one of the suffix action like that way. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this. So I'll come here. First of all, I want to make this field to be live, but with the condition that it will be only on a blur. So on the blur means that only when a user will leave the focus on this field, so this field will become live. That's why I'm putting this condition. And then from there down here, I want to add the action. I'll just say suffix action. Then inside that, I'll add that action. So this should be a form action. So let's import that. So it should be form actions. Okay. So the form action, let me update it to be generate post. Okay, it should be generate post content. Okay, and then from here I'll have the sparkles. So this is the icon. Actually, you will see how it looks like. And then if we refresh again, we have an error. So this is part. Oh, so that's an error. This should be sparkles. Okay, now let's refresh. All right, so now you can see this is how it looks like. So this is very fine. And now we want to, when the user will click this action, we need to generate the content of that post by checking if the user has passed any of the data in this field. So to do so, without integrating the Gemini AI, first of all, let's add the action, because that is important here. So on this action is where we are going to check if that field is not empty, and then if it's filled with any data, that's when we are going to retrieve those data from Gemini AI. So for now, let's first import or install Gemini AI package. So I'll come here. So this is the link I'll share with you guys on my documentation. And then if you scroll down here, you can see we have this command. Copy that command, and let's go to our terminal and then run it. Let me copy it again, paste it, click enter. So this will copy those source code. So let's give it a time. Alright, so after successful command, and now let's run the install command, which is this one, which will be php Gemini install. So let's run that. And here you can see it says we want to show some love, so let's say no. Okay, and now as you can see, it has just added a variable on your .env file. So also it has created the config file for Gemini.php. So if you go to the configuration, you will find the Gemini here. So this is the configuration file, so you can change other configurations from here. Okay, and also they have added one of the key here on .env file, which is this one. So how do you get this API key? So from here, as you can see, you can get your API key by setting up one of the, so you may need to create the project in your Google console, and then after that you can click this link and it will direct you to this page, which is Google AI Studio. So from here, make sure you have logged in with your Gmail account or the Google account. So when you have logged in successful, then you will have access to this page. When you will be here, when you click this Get API, so here you will need to have an active application, which is basically you can go and see it from, let me just show you. For example, if I say create API key here, so from here you can see these are the projects that I've created them from the Google console. So when I'm talking about Google console, you can go here, so you can just search for Google console, which is Google Cloud Console basically. So when you go here, okay, so you can see that is some of the terms that you can agree on. Okay, and from here you can see you have option to select a project, but also you can create a new project. So you can see I've just created these two projects, so I'll just use one of them. So it's easy to create a new project. You can just click create, then you can add the name of your project and select if you have an organization, and then that will be done. After creating that, that's when you will be able to create a new API key here, and you will create that by choosing a certain app. So already I've just created one of the API key, which is this one. So what I'll do, I'll just copy it, but at the end of this video I'll just delete this one so that you guys cannot compromise with my API. So I'll just paste that API key here. Okay, and after that now we can be able to continue with the this action, which will help us to generate the content for this one. So when the user click this one, we want to generate those content by using the Gemini AI from Google. Okay, so now let's start by implementing this function method. So I'll just pass fallback function, a callback function actually. So I'll just say function, then here I'll pass a string of the state. Okay, so string of the state of that field, and then I'll have a set here, and make sure you have imported this one. So it will be this one, filament forms then set. Okay, now let's, for example, this is just an example, so I'll just show you how it works. So when you click this one, so this content will be set to this field. So this field is this one. So by using the set which we have passed here, so we can be able to set that value to this field. So what it will happen, now refresh. Okay, so now that's how it is. So now, for example, you just paste that one, and then you can see that content has been posted here, and you can see the generated content for this one title. So you can see this is working. So this action is working fine. So from there, now we need to check one thing. So from here, I'll just call it, I'll change that state to topic. Okay, and then I want to check if the topic is empty. We don't want to generate this content. So for example, I'll just do that, and then I'll say topic. So let's see. Now this works. What if this is empty? Okay, so it shows the error. So it says null given here. Okay, so if this is null, it gives you error. Okay, so I guess this is easy to fix. So we can just give this to be nullable, so maybe to make it to be optional. And then now let's try again, refresh, and you try. Now you can see this is not prompting us with any error. So you can just add here a notification. So you can just say notification. So we can just say, please provide a topic key to generate content for. So this should be notification. Okay, now let's try again. Okay, so you can see that was generated, but okay, this should be, actually this should be unit have a body, and this should be title. Yeah, I guess this have the title, make yeah, we have the title. So this title should be title is required. Okay, so now let's try again, refresh, and now let's click be called title. Okay, so this title should start with make, then we can have this one. Now let's refresh. Now let's try. Title is required. Please provide a topic key to generate the content for. So this works fine. So now if you try to put something, and now it works. Okay, so now the next step is to generate the content for this title. So here what we'll do, I'll have a try and catch. So what I'll add, so let me just put the try and catch like this one, and then from here I'll just use the Gemini AI code. So let me paste some of the code here. So I'll start by putting a prompt. So let me just add the prompt here. So I'll paste a prompt that I've prepared. Okay, so the prompt should be this one. So you can see it says generate a compelling and detailed blog post on the topic. So then you will pass that topic from here, and then the post should have a clear introduction, 3 to 4 body paragraphs, and a concluding summary. Format the response using HTML tags. Why this? So I've added this as instruction into the AI because the Gemini generated the content by default on Markdown. But as you can see, this is the rich text editor, which I expect your code to be in HTML. So that's why I've instructed the Gemini AI to generate those content in HTML. So that's will be compatible with this field that we are going to populate that data. Okay, now after having the prompt, the next step will be to generate the content. So here I'll just say response will be equal, so it will be equals to Gemini. So this is actually a helper method, and then we are going to say generative okay, so this should be generative model, but this is not, I guess we've imported the wrong Gemini, so it should not be this one. So let me try to import it again. Yep, so this is the one. So after that, now this will be fine, and inside this one we should pass the model. So I'll just say model, and then the name of the model I'll just paste it. So here I'll paste the model, which is called the Gemini 1.5 Flash, and then from there I'll say generate content. Generate content. Okay, and then from this generate content method, I'll just say the prompt should be my prompt, which is this one, and then this maximum tokens is not required, so we can just ignore it for now, and then we can just extract the response in a text format from that response that was generated by the AI. And now we are going to set so you can have this AI means a check if AI didn't generate any of the result, but then what you can do, you can just set that content to the content field, which is this one. So let me just remove this one because we don't set by using that, so we set it from here. So if it happens the content will be empty, so we will just show this error, and if the content is there, so we can just set it to the field, which is this one. So now let's refresh, and now let's try. So you can see the title is required. Now we can say generate the content for Laravel migrations, and now let's try. Failed to generate content. Let's see. So we have a catch here. Okay, so I guess this does not accept that. Now let's try with this way. So I guess this will work. Yep, so I've removed the prompt here, so let's just give it just the prompt directory, and then now let's go to the form, and now here let's again add the title to be Laravel migrations, and then now let's click generate. So this is generating, and now you can see the title here. So mastering Laravel migration, your database best friend. You can see it has given us 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 paragraphs. So the last one is a conclusion, as we instructed in prompt here. So we can just see we have instructed it to generate 3 to 4 body paragraphs, and you can see we have 4 body paragraphs, and the 5th one will be the conclusion. So this is how easily you can just integrate Gemini AI into your Laravel application. So I've just shown you how to do it by using Filament PHP. So here you can just save, and you can see the data has been saved to your database. And now if you go back to the post, and now you can see we have the title here, and here you can just show the content, but you can limit it to not show the whole content. So you can just show the content here. So you can just say content, and if you leave it like this way, you can see the content is so long. So what we'll do, we will just limit it to 50, and we will make it to be in HTML. Why? Because this will help you to change the HTML code to normal plain text. So here you can see this is a plain text that we have. So this is how easily it will just look, and you can continue and add more. Let's say explain about event and listeners. See, and now generate. Okay, so you can see the foundation of interactive programming. So what is an event, what is a listener, example applications, and you can see the conclusion. Then you can save that in post, and if you go back here, you can see you have 2 posts, and you can edit any of these posts. So you can see you can just update this one, and then the AI can be able to update these details. So you can continue and go deeper based on this documentation. So based on that, we have just only used this way of interacting with the Gemini API, but you can continue, let's say, to use image upload. So you can see this is an example. So you can just ask the AI, what is this picture for? So you can see it return the prompt or the result as or the response. The picture shows a table with something in that. So because it will just scan your image using OCR technology, and then it will give you the result or the response based on the image that you provided. So you can go deeper on this documentation, and then you will be able to perform other functionality for using Gemini AI. So until now, I believe you guys have learned something new, and if you find this video helpful, please consider to like the video, share, and and also subscribe to my channel if you are new, and that's a way you are supporting me. So thank you for your time, and see you on the next video.